Hello and welcome to the Craft Man Show. My name is your host, the Craft Man. In today's edition, we're going to be talking about how can I make things from mold putty quick. My friend Tim from Massachusetts sent me the little figure right here. This from I think 1981, and it was from a series of figures, the Dragon Riders of the Sticks, something like that I believe it's called. But anyway, that's a pretty neat looking little man right there. And so we would like to make a copy of this. So since we're making a two-part mold, I got me some clay. And this is just regular, clay right there. It's the kind that don't dry, don't ever cure. It's just, reusable. And we're just going to make us a little bed of clay right there. Mush it. And get it to where the figurine, to where it will encompass around it. So all I'm doing is just kind of spreading things out. Notice the seam line that goes around. Whenever this thing was manufactured, it had two halves of a mold that came together. And where they meet, that's where that seam is. And this was injection molded. You can see probably where they injection molded the plastic into this. And it was probably, industrial metal mold thing. But anyway, we would like to make that seam line be the same one, because you don't want that seam line, and then when you make a cast of it, a second seam line coming down there, over there somewhere. So we just gonna come in here, and then just kind of carefully, start to push them down into the clay. All right, and then now what I'm gonna do, take my little silicone tool, and then actually probably this one probably be better because it's got that little flat edge to it. And I'm just gonna go around and just kind of push all these little areas. I'm gonna just kind of make sure the seam lines up, all the way around it. What's going to happen is we want this to be to where we can put the first half of the mold on top of it. Instead of using a liquid, silicone, pouring it up and all that, I'm going to show you how to do this with some mold putty. And that way you can have your two-part mold of this thing in no time flat. All right, because it cures fast. And then what's particular about today is we're making us a push mold, all right, which is going to be different than a pour mold. I'll show you how that works. But anyway, let me do this here real quick. Just go around. Now you can see this leg, how the character leg kind of hiked up right there. And you can see the seam. I'm going to bring the clay up to meet that area. You see that? And what I like to do, just kind of push it up. You might have some little places where you need to take you a little bit of clay and come in and add it back into it like that. And just kind of, tuck it in there. Mush it down. What's neat is this is a tedious process, but you really only got to do it one time, okay? Because once you do this, you do the half the mold, and we're going to do the other mold, and the hard work's already done. It'll make sense in a little bit. All right, so I've gone all the way around this and just have tried to, make that seam line, try to line up with the existing one. We're not going to get it 100%, but hey, that should be close enough. All that's left to do now is to go around and take and just let me see what I got over here. Just get something, let's see what we got. And we're going to just make some little these are registration marks and things like that. You need to make some different size ones. All this does is will help the mold halves to line up, Just kind of go around it. Something like that right there, Now when it comes to what mold putty product that you want to use, you got a lot of choices. In a lot of videos I use the Easy Mold silicone putty right there, the white and purple. And y'all seen me do that before. And in a recent video, polyplastics to send that over, and I used that very recently. It makes a pretty blue looking, but the thing I like about it is that the consistency is a lot more it's firm, but yet it's soft too. It's real pliable. I think it'll work good on our little mold here. Then I want to go ahead and show y'all something right there. This is impressive putty. Y'all see that? Impressive. AKA you press things into it. Anyway, that's pretty neat how they did that. But this was sent to me, and I want to do a show actually how this is in use in a future video. The only hang up for me right now is instructions that says melt in the microwave. Craftman don't own a microwave. That's a long story. Remind me to tell you about why come I don't own a microwave. Anyway, so I'm gonna have to look into if there's other ways that I can heat this up. But I'm pretty excited about this because how come reusable? You know what I'm saying? To me, the fact that it's reusable is the impressive part of that whole deal. For today, we're gonna use the polyplastics. And then we're gonna let that sit for 30 minutes. I don't think I ever mentioned this to y'all previously. The way I do my videos is, anytime I got something like that curing, I cut my AC on. All right. And I let that thing run as long as I can. And I turn it off right before I start to film, cause it's loud, you know what I'm saying? I try to keep it quiet up in my workshop. But I'll let y'all hear what that sounds like. That's what my air conditioner sound like. Alright, so it's been 30 minutes. And y'all know that's my test right there. So, what I do with this, well, that just came on up. Alright, well, I was going to flip it over and peel the clay off of it, because normally what you want is for the object to stay stuck down into the piece. And don't worry about, tearing up your clay, because you're done with it at this point. So what you should have is something like that right there. And now we're going to do the second half of the mold. But before we can do that, remember the silicone sticks to silicone. So we're going to take some petroleum jelly and use it as a mold release. So we're just going to take and just sort of go around, and you don't even have to use a Q-tip, Sometimes it helps if you just go ahead and take your little fingertip, because that way you can kind of feel, that it's getting around it good and all that. And so don't worry about getting it on the model, because what we're going to do is after we done this, rubbed it all in good, then we're going to come back and just kind of wipe down, the surface of the character, because the silicone does pick up surface finishes and things like that. So you don't want to have too much petroleum all over your little model that you casting. So just get it all up in there. Now I'm just gonna come in here and just make sure that I got all mold release, aka Vaseline, off of the figure. And if you still got some residuals on it, it ain't gonna hurt things really. I wouldn't be too concerned with that. Let's go ahead and mix us up the second half, and we're gonna do this thing. See that right there? Underneath his arm, the first mold putty did not push down far enough. So I'm gonna show y'all something I learned on the Indian reservation, how to fix that. I'm gonna take me just a little, even littler than that, little bitty bit right there. And all I'm gonna do is just come in here and mush it up into that as best that I can. And we got to go kind of fast, you know, because this mold putty, this stuff cures real quick. And then I'm gonna come in on top of all of it and just start to push that down. Patty cake the baker, man. Make me a mold as fast as you can. At this point, I go ahead and take and you know, I say on this R M. That stands for red man. That way I know what this mold is, you know what I'm saying? Red man made me think of my granddaddy. He used to chew red man tobacco. I do not promote tobacco products. Sometimes I just be saying random things. And hopefully it'll resonate with somebody. We're gonna let that sit 30 minutes. I'll probably go to the house, get me a little glass of tea, something like that, come back, check on it. So what I like to do at this point is to go in and all of the release agent, I just go ahead and wipe that up off the mold, you know, because we don't need it right now. Because we done with it. We don't need no extra release agent. It's good. These pieces will never stick together after they solidify. And he can get him some fresh air. Go hang out with the other vintage action figures. Now at this point you can put any kind of clay that you would like to. You can take your 2-part epoxy putty. You could do Sculpey, Apoxie Sculpt by Aves brand. Now if you wanted to, you could convert this into a resin mold. All you would have to do is find you a spot, like let's say down here, and cut you out like that, and maybe cut you out, you know, and so cut you out a spot that you can pour resin into it, but you would want to have you know, vents coming up everywhere where there's an undercut like that. You want to have a vent coming up and a vent. Otherwise, what you could do is you could get real creative and try to do you a injection mold. You know what I'm saying? To where you got a port coming in like that, and then you got some somewhere for the air bubbles to escape out. And get your resin and go in there and just say like that, injection mold that thing for single use. Instead of just taking that middle and squishing it like that, I like to start at the outside like this and work around. And it kind of helps force that clay back into the bulk of it, to the middle. You know what I'm saying? With Apoxie Sculpt and a Fixit Sculpt, I like to let it sit just for a little bit before I try to open it up, okay? So then what I do is I take me something and just go around and just gently, kind of carefully clean up all the little flash areas like that right there. And you can still clean this up after it cures, you know, but it's going to involve a little bit of cutting and sand. And that's why I like to go and just do this while it's still curing, all right? And I'm just kind of going through here and quote unquote melting these edges a little bit to kind of blend things in, you know. And remember that you can use any of your preferential clays, epoxies, different things. Just get creative with it and have fun. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. It was real simple, real short, sweet, and directly to the point. But hopefully you can extrapolate from this some things that you can do and get creative, get crazy, but stay within the limits of the law and have fun with it. Thank y'all for watching another little one of these DIY how-to clay epoxy mold putty looking videos. I love y'all. Keep steady crafting.